Dota2Canada Cup Season 6 playoffs. We are here. It is the grand final. This is the king of the crop. compLexity Gaming going up against Elite Wolves here in a best-of-5 series. We are into game number 2 after the first game was absolutely outstanding. Very solid game from both teams. A lot of fun to watch. Van Slark, Chessie's Furion. Oh, baby. Hopefully we get something like that again for both of these squads. As we jump into game number 2 here on moonducktv. My name is Mont. Joining me today, as always, is Pitmuckle, doing observing and producing, as well as memeing. We have Lorca Derp on stats, and we have Purge, our analyst. Purge, how you feeling today, and how you feeling after that first game, man?
Dude, that game was so good. I would love more games like that. Murano's going to be the first pick from Elite Wolves, so a little bit of a different play style going to be coming out of them. But historically, they have a really good roaming Murano, so I'm absolutely sure that they can get a lot done with this, whether it's talking about kills or just simple jungling or lane pressure in other places.
This is almost certainly going to be Misoku playing it. He's very, very strong on that particular hero, so very excited to see how this can do. And I don't know, I'm interested because they have a Lone Druid. I don't know how good Mirana actually is against Lone Druid. Obviously, there's a lot more than just those two heroes in this game, but those are the first two picks anyways, with a couple of interesting bans that are roughly the same as what we saw in game number 1, too.
Yeah, a lot of the same heroes, definitely. Venge, Lone Druid on compLexity, though, so it's going to be slightly changed up. I don't know if they're going to go a different build on Lone Druid or not. I feel like the Midas first build is good if you're wrecking, but in a game like the previous one, I feel like a faster Radiance would have done a lot for Elite Wolves to help deal with the summons and the push coming out of compLexity. So I personally am a bigger fan of just the fast Radiance.
The Iron Talon, yeah, and then into that Radiance later on down the road, which we see a lot of. Yeah, that's you talked about that a while ago, and I kind of agree with you. I can see the Midas working, and I see it like in almost every game now. But
10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, if you could get it with just the Iron Talon, it's fine. But so essentially, compLexity will take the heroes that Elite Wolves had last game. You pick up the Lone Druid, Vengeful Spirit. They're swapping sides, which is interesting because I don't really see compLexity play Lone Druid that much. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What do you think? Do you see a lot of Lone Druid coming out from this squad? I usually don't see it.
I think it's a bit more rare, definitely, but I think compLexity's happy to play it. It's also one of the heroes that Elite Wolves is extremely comfortable with. And that coupled with the fact that it's still a very good hero means that it's worth compLexity drafting, even though it's not necessarily something they usually rely on.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's just a very strong hero right now in general. It's not shocking that people will pick it. compLexity in particular has to pick up the Venge for themselves. A couple of bans, Ember Spirit's been taken away. Ember Spirit used to be one of Smash's go-tos, but now that he's in the offlane, they're just going to take it away from Ewo as well as Van. And there's going to be the OD ban and the Furion ban, which is more than fair for Elite Wolves to take out. I guess you could have seen maybe a Slark ban if you're compLexity, but I suppose they felt like, okay, we won that game. Sure, it was a little bit harder than maybe we anticipated. We have plenty of lockdown for the Slark if he decides, if Elite Wolves decide they want to pick that hero up. So I feel like they're not as concerned about that hero.
Yeah, and Slark's not usually one that you would lead the second round off with. Either you pick him last or you pick him second to last, I think. Because he is still counterable by a lot of heroes. Something like Lion is a good step towards dealing with him, just assuming you're ganking, for example.
Yeah, that's a good point. There are plenty of counters, and
Reserve time.
I don't think they're going to pick him here in the next pick, but compLexity, they've got a minute and 20 seconds left for reserve time. They have their Lone Druid who could be played in numerous different roles, and Vengeful Spirit is going to be picked up as well. So they need another support. They need more than likely a mid/offlaner, I think, as well. I think Lone Druid will probably be in the safe lane, but there's other options as we've talked about, and I'm just trying to scratch my head and think of what's available. I think you can go Dazzle perhaps if they wanted to for support. I don't know, man. What do you think for compLexity right now?
I kind of like Dazzle against Mirana. I think it's a decent idea. Also with Venge, they have pretty good gank potential. It's going to be a Legion, though. Legion is very good against a lot of heroes for his ability to, or her ability to gank them. I don't know how well it's going to fit into their draft, but right now it's pretty good. Vengeful Spirit synergizes well with it. You can amp up the damage with minus armor and plus damage. So I like Legion for that reason. Doesn't necessarily counter anything that's on Elite Wolves just yet. It's obviously very good versus Earthshaker because he's a slightly squishy support that if he gets dueled, you can definitely focus him down. But it's not like they have an Ember Spirit or... I mean, I guess it counters a potential Slark as well. It's another solution. Maybe they're trying to protect themselves against that kind of a core that Elite Wolves might grab. But I'm a little surprised to see it's picked up so early.
Well, it's just a really good lockdown hero. It takes heroes out, like maybe an anti-mage who you would want to pick last pick, but that dissuades them from doing so now. But they will have to deal with a Brewmaster who's slightly more tanky than the Earthshaker and actually pretty tough to bring down with a Legion Commander. So we'll see if that's going to be the case.
You know, I think the reason they got Legion Commander was because they wanted to remove stuns from Mirana and Earthshaker. I always forget about that aspect. I always think about Legion as all about the duel, but Press the Attack's really good at debuffing stuns and things, so it's very likely going to be a, oh, you didn't get stunned? Alright, remove the stun from you. And if it's Legion Commander that gets nailed, then you swap her out. So they kind of cover a lot of bases with these two cores.
It's not going to batten against a Mirana. You Photic Shield off the arrow, you could do the same thing with Press the Attack, so...
Now, with that said, like, it's a huge counter to Mirana, but Legion Commander has to be in the lane for that, and I feel like the bigger impact to arrow is in the laning stage. I mean, if you have late game arrow setups, yeah, okay, then having a Legion Commander is great. Like if it's like a Bane or a Shadow Demon or something, the Legion Commander can be really useful. But like the biggest pressure that Mirana provides, in my opinion, is the early roam and followed into the generally strong team fight with arrows, Starstorm, and the ultimate. And I feel like Legion's not amazing against that many of those things, with the exception of maybe the Mirana ult. So seems a bit early for the Legion, but if compLexity just really loves the hero, they can go with it.
Yeah, Legion it's a bit of an interesting pickup for sure. Now they pick up the Zeus as well, and so you're just wondering where the Legion is going to go in terms of laning, but we'll wait and see where they lane it up. Elite Wolves will grab their next pickup as well here. They have plenty of reserve time to go with. Maybe perhaps a gap closer against the Zeus, somebody that could help against the Legion duel. I don't know, man. I don't really know, like, what you drafted in these situations. I'm not thinking, like, okay, well, what... That was something that I had thought about, but not said, because they played it earlier in this week and dominated compLexity with it, so...
Yeah, they played really well. They got a ton of advantage out of it. They got a fast Dagon, and then they just super pressured their opponents. Now, Zeus and Legion are decent against Tinker. Legion, if you blink duel him, he's just pretty much dead at that stage. And Zeus can obviously give you vision in the trees. You can also Zeus ulti if you're having trouble finding him. Or you can just prevent his ability to blink. There's a couple little tricks you can do with Zeus just to catch Tinker. So I kind of like the Zeus pick. Zeus is also decent against Brewmaster if he's locked down, and that's going to be the crucial part. Otherwise, Brewmaster will be decent against Zeus. And Zeus is going to have to worry about arrows as well. So it could be a little hard for him in his lane. If you're talking Tinker plus Mirana, if he ever gets hit by any arrow, he just dies.
Yeah, he's donezo. And that could be the case for a lot of these heroes, actually. At least Vengeful and Zeus. Lone Druid probably as well. He's not that tanky, especially in his regular form. And I don't know, man. I actually really like both drafts, but if I have to give an advantage, I think it's if compLexity just like get a good, decent amount of farm for the Lone Druid, and if they can get a Legion blink tech, or they can blink duel, the Zeus will own whoever's getting dueled. And all of a sudden, that's it. Like, that hero's dead, and they take them out of the fight immediately. So it comes down to an early blink or whatever for the Legion Commander to getting off to a good start for them.
An early start would be really important, especially that fast blink dagger. The Legion blink is the most important thing they can get, because that dictates whether or not they can kill Brewmaster before Brewmaster splits, and also gank Tinker effectively. I mean, I guess Swap can do that as well, but Swap will also be very effective. So hopefully for them, they can use the Venge Swap to prioritize and keep their opponents shut down before Legion gets blink, and then once the blink is up, then they have more ways to get those ganks off. I would love to see more stuns out of compLexity. I think they're set up good with these 4 heroes, but I think they need a bit more to guarantee Brewmaster kills or Tinker kills. Maybe something like a Night Stalker for their second support, I think would be really good for compLexity.
There's a lot of options here too, but it's tough to find that perfect support in this situation. Also, I just can't remember. You've already called up a few of them, but it's tough without a hero roster in front of me to go, oh, that could be really good. And well, there's also a couple bans coming out. Obviously, they banned out the Earth Spirit, very good support. He does have a Disabler too. There's also banned out the Witch Doctor with the Cask and the Death Ward ability to team fight even more effectively after a duel is placed down. I think it's a great ban coming out. But compLexity's last pick is here, and 10 seconds left in reserve time. It's coming right around the corner. Okay, it's a Puck. Well, that's a support Legion then? Or support Zeus?
Could be jungling Legion as well. If it's a support Zeus, I pray for compLexity's soul, because I just am not super sold on support Zeus. It works sometimes, but only when you can be greedy and you can get a soul ring fairly fast and have a decent laning stage. So it's definitely very possible that it's just jungle Legion. Lone Druid's already pretty strong in lane as a carry due to having 2 right clicks. In terms of... Well, who's the offlane, I guess, then, huh?
Zeus, maybe? Or at least is probably the more likely candidate for offlane. You could do Puck offlane also. If there's actually so many candidates
Could
for
be
offlane.
Druid. Yeah.
They could do everything. It's nuts.
I just hope it's not support Zeus. I'm not a fan of support Zeus. I think he'll just get eaten alive by Tinker once Tinker gets Blink Dagger. Same with Brewmaster. Once Brewmaster gets Blink, he'll just like Blink clap Zeus and ulti and kill him every time.
Yeah, he'll just die. We saw the support Zeus earlier from 1437. He got decimated. Well, that's not even the right word. He got destroyed, actually. Is more, I think, apt.
Now, decimated is definitely a more extreme version of those two words.
Somebody told me that the definition of decimate is like taking somebody down in increments of like 10 or something, because it actually is like... Hold on, let me look up this definition. It's
Spectre's a really good pick. I like this. It'll set up Tinker kills, basically. He can get a fast second Boots of Travel and basically just TP on any hero in terms of fights. It's very good against Puck as well. Radiance is going to limit his ability to blink. He's going to ulti and he's going to kill Zeus every time if it's a support. Z-Freak is playing the Legion, so it's probably going to be jungling Legion and either carry or... Okay, it's an offlane Zeus. But they might do an aggressive dual lane with a jungling Legion. I'm not sure how they'll do this, but we'll see.
I'm very excited for the Z-Freak Legion Commander. I know this is taboo to say, but I'm a slight fan of jungling Legion Commander in pub games because of how good Iron Talon actually is.
I would have flamed you so bad in the last patch, but now I can totally empathize with it. Because you just farm so much faster with the Iron Talon. It makes a big difference. You kill the biggest creep and it lets you do that right-click damage quite a bit faster.
I've seen so many pro/big personality players play this on stream. I've seen PPD, I've seen Artesia, I think, I've seen Draskel. I've seen so many people play Jungle Legion Commander in the 4 position, and it's worked out a couple of times. Sure, it doesn't have, I think, the best win rate, but I think it's an okay choice. And Z-Freak got away with jungling just fine last game. Obviously, he's an Enigma, so it's a little bit different, but...
Yeah, very different. In fact, the Mirana can kind of just follow Legion and see whatever he's doing and just split his experience. And that alone would be a big hurt.
The scope to win this series, what are you going to change your name to? I guess they had a bet.
Yeah. Are you sure? Are these guys friends? Because Swindle tries to talk to him a lot.
Alright, well, maybe not. There was no bet.
I think he doesn't like the fact that Mystico uses the tag M-God.
M-God. Swindle seems...
Ooh, they might get an engagement here.
Mystico and Misoku are going to walk up to the higher ground here. They're looking for an engagement. Fisher's going to fly. They have arrow, but they will not be able to get it off the time. That's just a waste of mana. That sucks. He's 4 clarities, I guess, so.
I guess their level 1 just isn't good enough to get a kill like that. Like, Avenge is very good at level 1, but what's a Zeus and a Legion Commander going to do? Unless they have an Orb of Venom, they wouldn't have killed one of those guys.
No. By the way, just to clarify, Decimate has 2 different definitions. One is the one that we always know. We'll hold that thought as there's going to be a team fight happening. There's the Spectre Dagger Magic Missile's going to come through. There's the Fisher coming out. The arrow just misses completely. Swindle will take up the bounty rune. And somehow they all survive. Like, nobody dies. They lose maybe a little bit of health on a couple of these heroes, but other than that, it's completely fine.
I mean, that Fisher was actually really good, but nobody was close to the rune after, except for compLexity people, so they get both bounties. That's not good.
Alright, well, here we go. And Decimate has the one definition that I already, everybody uses. And then the other definition, which is a historical definition, kill 1 in every 10 of, parentheses, a group of soldiers or others, and parentheses, as punishment for the whole group. So...
As punishment? I thought it was going to be like some military term from the Civil War.
It comes from the Roman Empire, wherever, if like a division did bad, then they would kill every 10th. That's decimate from decimal from 10.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's
the more you know.
That's real brutal. You're like, hey, you guys messed up. We're gonna murder you now. Do better.
Dude, the Romans, they don't fuck around.
Yeah, Romans went ham, a little too ham, in fact, some might say. They brought us a lot of good crap, but they also did some really, really bad crap. So, but that's your history lesson for today, guys, and we'll try to get you more history lessons over the next course of the cast that we're doing. But all right. What's going on? 5 last hits for Legion Commander. She's topping the last hits, obviously, because she's in the jungle. 4 coming out for the support Morana for Misoku. Mid lane is doing pretty well with 3 last hits for each, and then down bottom, Ewo has 5. So,
the dual offlane's actually pretty good to do here with Morana, and I kind of like the Orb of Venom that he picked up as well. It's very good for damage and harassment. They're gonna look for Z-Freak though, and they're gonna look at the right side. They won't see him just yet.
He's gonna stay near the rest of the team too. They know where he is now. They're gonna head mid instead, like you talked about.
Alright, they got a fissure into arrow, so it's... Okay, they changed their mind.
Or they're going back towards top.
Can they land this?
Are they gonna ring around the Rosie? They're gonna see him pretty soon with this ward. They see him.
Their movements are kind of weird here. They're kind of focused on unusual stuff. Maybe arrow handskin right now.
Oh yeah, Hanskin's probably gonna die here. Mystico is gonna come through as well, and Smash is nearby. And Hanskin knows he's in some sort of trouble. They have Fisher ready to go with arrow. Maximus is gonna fly. Smash is low. There's the arrow combination. Lightning bolt. First blood will go the way of Elite Wolf. Smash is in trouble. They don't have the mana though for Swindles. He's got a Mango. Can he get this lightning bolt off? He will. It's actually a trade, which is not terrible for compLexity. They did lose the first blood, and obviously that's not that great. But here comes Z-Freak. He's got press the attack. He has no Orb of Venom, however. He's just looking to run in. And they've got Lightning Bolt ready to go. There's going to be the press the attack to heal him back up as well. He already used the Arc Lightning, which means he's not going to have enough mana for the Lightning Bolt. So some kind of weird harass in that top lane, but nothing else happening.
I can't believe Brewmaster didn't use his salve there. Like, that there was a very clear Mango on Swindles, and he was going to get bolted. I mean, maybe he would have died either way, but I think the first blood was far more important there.
That's... Well, it's compLexity, or rather, at least Elite Wolves get that first blood. Who actually got it? Smashed it. Okay, so he died, but he didn't lose much, unless he didn't buy anything. That might have been the case, but... Anyways.
Well, in the mid lane, it's actually super equal. There's actually like 6 people in this game that have 10 last hits. But Limp is now at 11, and Tinker is also at 10, so pretty close here. He went 2 laser, 2 missile to help out the laning stage. He will be lasering aggressively here whenever he's going for last hits.
He's 2 CS down now. Van, step your game up. Come on, buddy. You're better than that.
That's pretty much means you can't come back when they're up by 2 CS.
Yeah, that's it. That game might as well be over at that point. Just call it, but... In all seriousness, he's doing pretty well for himself. He'll probably go for the march a little bit later. You talked about his build. Venge is going to get, or rather get catch up with Smash, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to get the kill. Just say catch up, I'm not sure why, but that's that.
Well, maybe they'll muster their courage and take a win. I'm so offended that you laughed at that, Mon. Come on.
It's,
get some standards,
laugh.
dude.
It was a fake laugh. It was a pity laugh. Come on, Kevin.
You sold it. You really sold that. Lone Druid in the offlane, by the way. He's in a 1v1 versus a Spectre. Not very normal to expect this.
Oh, Smash is going to get caught again. Lightning Bolt, they need 2 more right clicks, and Z-Freak. He's roamed twice now. This time it's successful. Get him to 400 gold. He's got enough for his boots now. He's also got 13 last hits. Arrow?
He's actually just trialing.
Oh, Swindle! Oh my god, what an arrow! Oh, that was sick. So true. I'm so happy that you got that, JJ. I would have been so sad if you didn't.
Oh, this is a haste on Tinker. He's trying to catch up here. He's
gonna go all the way in. Yeah, he's got it ready to go. He's gonna have his lasers too. He might not get there in time. Oh,
he's gotta wait.
Wave of Tear. Oh, he's gonna go even deeper. Oh, can he get Hanskin? Here he comes. Laser's gonna fly. See you later. And Z-Freak is 1 right click from death as well. They've TP'd Swindle. He'll get fissured up. They have no arrow. They've already used it. It looks like it missed. Misoka will take a couple of Arc Lightning hits, and he's got Lightning Bolt, but another battling lane up at this top lane, and not much happening elsewhere, but still a lot of action up here top.
Well, Lone Druid is still farming quite well in the offlane. He's got 28 CS versus the 24 of Spectre, but I feel like he maybe could be pressuring Spec a little better here. There's the Haunt.
They're going to go into Swindle. He's going to have his clarity pop, but he's in trouble. Lightning Bolt will fly. Smash comes in, gets the clap off. Now there's going to be the usage of the overwhelming odds, and he was going to stay up and zone Z-Freak out. Z-Freak level 4 to Evo 6. This is not going to be the best matchup for Z-Freak. He needs help. He'll get the TP in the form of Hanskin coming through. Maximus will fly into Smash. There's the Wave of Tear. They've got overwhelming odds in 1 second. There's the arrow. It's going to hit up a creep, and now Evo and Z-Freak going to go toe-to-toe. They get a moment of courage proc, but nothing really to help them get a kill on either of those heroes. So immediately they get their level 6, and Elite Wolves pop up the haunt for Evo. Great stuff.
Yeah, those absolutely going to happen. I mean, Spectre got pretty good last hits. He didn't get harassed out of his lane. And as soon as you hit 6, he's going to gank and go for somebody that can't defend themselves. I'm a little surprised we're not seeing Z-Freak spend more time in the jungle, though. I mean,
yeah,
he's gotten some advantage out of his lane, and that's really good and all, but like, he could have more levels and he could have more farm.
I think a lot of it has to do with the really potent roaming combo of the Earthshaker and the Mirana. If he stays in the jungle, there's a chance that he just dies, I think. But anyways, they did pick up a kill up onto Van in the mid lane. It's winning with a Dream Coil. They had a rotation coming through as well, and so that's a huge pickup for them. compLexity are actually doing very well in terms of farming. In fact, they have 3 of the top 4 in net worth. They have a 2,000 net worth advantage. I thought Elite Wolves were doing really well for themselves with the Spectre farming the way she is, but it's actually the Lone Druid who's getting free farm essentially down bottom. And the Pug with that kill is huge. Smash is going to take an entangled down bottom, but he'll be fine. The Orb of Venom is going to work, but won't do enough for Chessie to actually secure the kill. And he's getting ever so close to getting that Midas with the Iron Talon into already.
Yeah, Drunken Haze is going to be really good against the Bear, though, going into the late game. So the Bear's going to have to get an MKB at some stage, I'm pretty sure. For now, it looks like he is going Midas. He's got a Gloves of Haste on his Bear. And considering how free farm he's been, he's got 44 CS at 7 minutes. I think it's a good Midas game.
Yeah, I'd agree. As long as he doesn't get ganked during the next couple of moments, he should be okay for that Midas to come out here pretty soon. The thing is, they actually Zeus ulted. They saw Elite Wolves together, and so they should know that this smoke is coming. If they clicked on one of those heroes, they would have seen the Earthshaker have the smoke. And so because of that, they still go for the smoke regardless, and Chessie's able to just back away. Lip might not be so lucky. The Fisher might come through. There's going to be the arrow coming out. The arrow will hit up onto the creep. It was going to hit up on the Olymp if that range creep wasn't there. But, well, almost only counts on horseshoes and hand grenades, I suppose.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And what's the Dota equivalent? I almost said Earth Spirit, but it's not like that anymore.
Yeah, there's so many abilities. You could just name one off the top of your head, and you're like, yeah, that sounds right. Zeus ult. I mean...
Yeah.
Anyways.
I can't think of any other ones. I'm absolutely locked into Brain Thought, and it's not working.
Yeah, I could just see...
You were
like you were just like sitting there for a second. I could hear you're like puzzling, just trying to figure it out. That's pretty funny.
I was trying to think of a good joke, but I just like I'm empty today.
Listen, man. That's
Arcane's Legion. Yeah, that's
okay. That's a good joke. Just that's
see the interesting part about what Z-Freak is doing is that he's playing this like a support rather than like a AFK jungler, despite buying the AFK jungle items. So he's still gonna farm quite a bit, but I think with this item build at least it helps out his allies more. He's gonna cast a lot of pressed attacks basically. That's gonna be his focus.
The unfortunate thing is he's not going to have the treads for the extra damage in duel to help him out and get extra kills.
Yeah.
I like this a lot, but I think that I'm not sure how effective it's actually going to be. It doesn't really matter, though, because they have a huge advantage already. I mean, it's like 2,000, 3,000 network advantage.
It might be
Take me.
Wow.
It's a good kill. Every kill
was...
for Puck is going to help out a lot, even if it is a low-level support. But I think it'll probably be Aetherlance on Legion.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That sounds really good. Swindle's going to get Haunt. Will come through. Can they get this kill? Yes. Evo gets the last right click to pick it up with the Spectral Dagger coming through as well. Haunt's was spotted out with the other Haunt Illusion, but they won't chase him down. They didn't react in. Meanwhile, the Earthshaker takes a lot of damage coming from the Zeus ult that we saw earlier, which is how they got that kill onto Misoku. The Zeus ult followed up by Dreamcoil and Lucio. And you talked about the Puck. He's getting very close to that Blink Taker. 16, almost 1,700 gold for him currently in his stash.
That's going to be huge. Once he gets that, then the Tinker's got to be really careful until he gets his own Blink Dagger, and even then afterwards. Because if they have like Zeus plus Puck, for example, then Tinker just dies every time. He's going to absolutely die to that combo.
Dive top lane. Air is going to come in. It's going to hit Hanskin. He is probably dead. They get the clap off. Z-Freak's going to press the attack. There's the split up as well. Silence was about there, but it did get off the time. Now the Cyclone is up, and they might lose both of these heroes. Z-Freak will certainly fall one more second from now. They get off the urn. They're going to chase him down. The Spectral Dagger is one that does the job. Limp looking for an Elusive up on Evo. He actually dodges it. Beautifully done. Jukes a jive, and Limp knows that he has to leave now. The Fisher will hit up, though, and Swindles is going to come in. Silence comes through. Phase shifts the arrow. That was dirty. They get off the Dream Coil as well. Evo's going to have it snap. The Elusive up hits on an M-God, but that's the only one he'll fall. Smash. Lightning Bolt is up. That was a little optimistic coming out from the Brewmaster. Still a great turnaround from Limp and crew, and a couple of really amazing dodges. And now his Blink is done, Purge.
That's really good for him. Ulti's on a pretty low cooldown nowadays, 75 seconds for Dream Coil, so initiating is something that you definitely can do often, aka move around the map and get kills. So if he does that well, then he's going to create a ton of space for his team, and it should allow the Lone Druid to just transition from item to item. Now, I don't really like Lone Druid versus Spectre. I think it's not the best matchup you can do, but he can definitely pressure heroes like Tinker and the supports as well.
Yeah. The Lone Druid is, although, you know, he's just been free farming essentially since minute 0. He's got 77 last hits. He was not involved in any of those fights top lane. Look how much gold he's got after getting that Midas 1600. He's accelerated his farm pretty massively. I mean, we could be seeing a 17, 18-minute radiance for Chessie.
Yeah, he's going to get it way before the Spectre does, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And again, they still haven't pressured him. All the pressure has been on the top safe lane.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's mattered that much because like, it's a Zeus, you know? Like, Zeus is going to do a lot of damage as long as he lives in the fights.
Right.
And yeah, Spectre's going to pressure him, and that's really scary when he ults and uses Dagger on him. But if he can just get enough items to not die instantly to the Spec ulti, then all of that pressure that E-Wolves did at the start of the game is not going to mean much if all of a sudden there's a Radiant Spirit chasing you down. Like, they should maybe shift their focus and go gank the lone Druid.
It would be really much better. Swindle's going to get killed, though, top lane, and you talked about it. They still just keep going back to that well. They focus on him solely and him alone. Swindle will die again. Maybe this is just all a ploy. They're like, man, we really don't like
Swindle. He's
Swindle.
going to feed his bear, maybe.
He's
that's close.
Smash is thinking about it. He's got 8-6 charges. He's going to go back around. He really wants this kill. I don't
If he gets
him.
the spare, it's... Oh, God.
Wow, he's split for it, too. He's going to TP away. Oh, cycle it up. They're actually going to get Chessie haunted as well. This would be a huge kill. Can they get the bear first, though? The Savage Roar comes out. Fisher comes through. Bear's about to fall, and it will. And Chessie will go down on top of it. That's a huge pickup, Purge.
The gank finally came, and all it took was a Panda in the area and a Speckled, and he gets killed. It's plenty of damage there. Really nice gank by Elite Wolves.
Those past 2 kills, he got them from 4,000 net worth deficit to only a 2,000 net worth deficit. So you can see how big that Panda, or rather that bear was to kill. And Smash is about to have his Blink Dagger, as he's going to have it here with the next creep that he kills. And I'll be the Satyr Tormentor will do the job. Z-Freak, what does he have? Nothing, okay.
Spectre got so much from that fight too. Like, now he's up to 1,400 gold, past his Drum of Endurance, so he's pushing towards Radiance. He's actually equal now with Lone Druid. If they get their Radiances at about the same time, it's going to be really scary for the supports on complexity.
Van has his bots as well. He doesn't have his Soul Ring, so he's still not quite at that point where he's doing really well in the early game, but he did a pretty good job catching back up after that death he had mid. I feel as if Elite Wolves have all the tools to take this late game, and if they do take it late game, I think they're in a pretty good spot. You have a Smash.
Oh, they might get Spec.
So cool. Oh, yeah, you're
just gonna make sure he doesn't
bounce
TP.
up. Zeus ult comes through. There's gonna be the TP in. Dream Coil's gonna fly. He's gonna pop the Illusion Orb. Van goes into the March of Machines. The duel comes out though, and Van will probably fall here. Hanskin about to go down, but he'll stay up and alive. And Zephyrk just walks in, duels him up, and says, "Listen, you're a tinker. I am the Legion commander. You're going to give me your bonus damage. Thank you very much, sir."
Yeah, and they went for the easy gank there. Obviously, killing Spectre would have been great as well, but with Tinker showing up, I think Tinker is the easier pick in that case, considering he wasn't by trees. So it was very close though. They almost didn't get him.
Yeah, that was... Oh, no, never mind. He was a little bit too short. Smash was looking for a blink clap. He couldn't quite find it. So he gets the animation. He'll head back towards the top rune spot. Oh, he actually finds himself the berry, wants this arcane rune, but instead Chessie will go ahead and use the Savage Roar. Oh, he blinks in! And he had to dodge that arrow, Chessie did, so actually won't be able to get the arcane rune, which is a very good rune for a Brewmaster.
Yeah, it would have been great on Tinker or Puck as well, and that's why he was trying to protect it, because he really wanted Puck to be able to pick that up. Because every time you use it, it lowers the cooldown of the ability that you just used.
Swindles is dead. He did not see them coming. The Haunt will come through. The Reality's in as well. And so he can actually Reality back out and go back somewhere else to farm. But instead, he's going to chase after Chessie. The Bruce Split's going to fly. They have the Heat-Seeking Missiles. And Chessie's actually just too fast. Jump in. Now they're going to get the Silence and the Illusion Orb on Mystico. They'll pop up the usage of the Moonlight Shadow. And they'll be able to get out. So they do pick off the Zeus again. And they have to split as well as Haunt to get it. But it's a kill nonetheless. And this provides Ewo 2,400 gold as well.
That could have been way worse for complexity, though. I thought they might get doubled there due to the positioning of their heroes. On the bright side, though, for E-Wolves, despite only getting 1 kill, they did have the Arcane Rune when they used Primal Split, so it was only about a 100-second cooldown instead of 140.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Well, back up in 16, they'll have their tier 1 tower defend, and Ewo continues to get towards that Radiance. Chess is coming in, he's up to 2,800 gold, so it's actually... Here's the thing, Ewo actually has a Phase, Drum, and an Urn. Chessie has Iron Talon and Midas. They're both very close in net worth.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Spectre has more farm right now. You can see that on the
I'm just going to find
chart.
Spec.
Zeus ult's going to go, they don't have the damage, but we'll push them back now. Chessie's going to chase behind the tower with his bear. Lep's going to look for something as well with his Blink Dagger ready to go. In the Dream Coil, the Heat-Seeking Missiles will be able to phase shift it. Now the Lightning Bolt up to Van. Van has to probably leave. I don't think people would fight this. They wanted to march and push out the wave, but unfortunately March is not going to do nearly enough to stop that push coming in.
So this is basically the plan of complexity all along, is a Legion Commander plus Bear. With the Aether Lens, he can sit really far away, and he can give 120 attack speed to the Bear while giving it 60 HP regen, which is 300 HP. So it's basically making the Bear better. In some ways, this is a better version of the Ogre Lone Druid combo that's been running around a lot the last couple of days.
Right.
I like this one a bit better because you can remove a disable from the Lone Druid, you can keep it up longer, and the attack speed increase is far better than what a Bloodlust does.
Jump in, Dream Coil, Masoka will fall, but now they get the split off, and Z-Freak might be in trouble. He's got duel, but he's not going to be able to use it against many. Fish is about to fly, it'll actually block him momentarily, but the rest of Complexity are here. Hansky's going to go ahead and swap him out. Hanska might be in trouble. Here's the haunt through. Who will they go for? Echo Slam on a Swindle. That's the target they want. They'll find him. He rallies in further. Now Special jump in, looks for the clap. He finds it. Heat-seeking missile. Z freaks low. Won't fall yet. The press the attack, healing him up. He'll try to TP away, and it looks like he will make it out just barely. The heat-seeking missiles did a lot of damage, not enough to kill him, but Evo still picks up yet another kill, getting him to a mega kill spree, and now up to 3,400 gold for the Evo Spectre.
I don't know if this is looking good for compLexity. They just can't let Spectre keep getting kills on him like that. And what happens is E-Wolves just runs at compLexity and they can't slow them down and stop them from getting those kills. But they need to find a way to do it, whether that's dueling somebody or Radiant Spurn stopping Blink Daggers, but they need a solution really soon or it's going to keep happening where Elite Wolves presses Spectre ult and Zeus and +1 die.
Zeus has had a really bad game. Swindle is just trying to find any sort of survivability. He has now picked up a null tally over the Magi, so Veil will come out here, which will give him some extra armor because of the Helm of Iron Will. So Swindle will have at least a little bit more survivability, but it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. They even use the Moonlight Shadow right now, but they did so on top of an Observer Ward. And Smash will still find Swindle top lane. He's going to jump in with the clap. He doesn't use it now. He does. He's got Drunken Haze. He'll pop it off. He actually can't get the kill. Zeus will fly through. Swindle looking to turn this. They're going to go ahead and Lightning Bolt. He'll miss. And now Swindle has to get away. Hanskin's nearby to help him out. But there's not going to be any pressure as Van's TPing back home already.
I don't know. I've just seen so many Zeus's feed lately, and I don't necessarily think it's the players are making mistakes. It's just teams know what heroes to pick on Zeus's, and they lane against them very well also. They're looking to fight mid. They could get a duel off here.
They have the Relic on Evo. They have Haunt in 20. They really want this tier 1 tower. There's the overwhelming odds coming through. They'll keep marching this up to cover their attack onto the building.
He's got Midas in 12. He's very close to Radiance. If he sells something, maybe? Like, he's got a Tango stack.
Sell your Tango. Use one of them and sell.
Don't know. It's not quite enough. He needs about 300 gold.
Yeah. They'll be close. What did he just do? Oh, he used the Midas. There's the Haunt in. What are they looking for? Limp, perhaps top. Nobody there. The Haunt's going to be wasted, it looks like. No worries. Though.
Yeah, it looks like he TP'd. Smart TP there. So with his Veil, he's going to be able to output a lot more damage on Zeus. But I don't know if it's going to keep him survivable. I think he's going to need like a Eul's, maybe a Ghost Scepter as well before Spectre stops being a huge threat.
But Radiance give him really any raw HP. Yeah, there is the Radiance coming out.
And he needs raw HP against the Spec. Like, the armor is going to help, but Spec also does a lot of pure damage. So that's only counterable by either a BKB or by having a lot of HP.
compLexity are going to smoke up, and they're going to draw a straight line over to Van, it looks like. And luckily enough, Spectre's not going to be the one that is caught. At least not yet. But it will be Van and the Sophie more than likely. Z-Freak's looking for a potential jump in. The Zeus will fly. There's the jump away. Van's going to get dueled up. Z-Freak will get the dual damage. Jump in. Split. He doesn't get the clap off. There's the buyback in. They miss up the arrow, though. The Veil will come through. Chessie's going to get caught. Can they bring him down? Evo trying to fight. Savageor comes out. Boulder toss. Fisher as well. Can they bring him down? Chessie's so low. Last right click. Mio and can't get there. They pop up. The usage of the Echo Slam on Limp. He's low. Nobody dead at compLexity. They've lost 2 on the Radiant side after buying back. They've actually really lost 3. Evo cannot afford to die here. Lightning Bolt, last right click, Swindle's low. Everybody from compLexity is low. But Elite Wolves will have to back away with nothing in tow. And be just kind of happy, begrudgingly happy that they didn't all die there.
Yeah, no kidding. Lone Druid was very, very low HP, and Legion Commander basically just followed him the whole time, eventually buffing him again with Press the Attack. That's the only thing that kept the Lone Druid alive there. He needs a cloak really bad, because the magic damage coming out of E-Wolves is getting his HP so low that his bear can't
killed Ewo! Yeah. What? He killed him with the bear. He was just following him and he just died. Yes. Well, like maybe a 40
he died
seconds
in the
ago,
fountain. What the fuck?
Yeah, he died in the fountain.
Alright, I'm not responsible for this one.
Probably tried to TP while the Radiant Spurn was hitting him, and it barely got him. That's a big kill.
Chance. Yeah, you're right.
He got 700 before that.
I think he was here when he died, or it might have been in lane. He might have just said, "Oh, I'm fine. I can go back to farming or something."
Yeah, he probably went back to farming because Zeus ult was down, and then the bear shows up and Radiance burns him. And he tried to TP in time, but he didn't make it.
Well, that's unfortunate.
A big kill.
I mean, that stops his ratings from getting up for another couple of, well, at the very least for probably a minute or so. It's down for another 10 seconds. While this is happening, Chessie has got his ratings. You saw it there. He's picked up the Aegis as well.
Yeah, it did both things. It delays the Radiance. It guarantees a Roche, which would have been really hard to do otherwise because Spectre could have ultied and they potentially could have taken a fight. But with Spec dead, they know for a fact, they're like, okay, this is easy. We got Roche now. His Radiance is delayed. We can get our next item on Spirit Bear. And whatever that'll be, probably an AC, something like that.
Yeah, it could be Glad Smoke.
I found out what happened, guys.
What's
okay,
that?
so Spectre was going towards the tier 2 top, because he was kind of scared, and there was a bear just like running after him, and the bear ran into the enemy base, into the enemy fountain. That's where he died. He was literally
Wow.
close to the fountain, and then
That's
the bear,
most
the last tick killed him.
frustrating thing. Evo maybe could have. I don't know if he had managed the Spectral Dagger away, but that sucks for him. God.
I know he had less
Super
than
weird.
100 HP when he got out of the team fight, so he was probably really scared about getting leaded off by, or let off by like Puck or something. But that was such a big kill by Chessie.
It was a great team fight too, and that provides them 2,500 extra net worth as they were at 5,000 before, at 7,500 now. And
Okay.
Z-Freak is now up to 2,500. I feel like Z-Freak could use a bit more mana, but I'm not sure if that's what he's going to go for. He's picked up a Shadow Amulet, so...
Yeah, I guess it's going to be for an SB. He could hypothetically get something like a Glimmer Cape if he wants to play real weird this game, but I think it's about time he starts aiming for himself, you know? Like, Duel as an ability is not a good support ability. It's good because it locks people down, but the whole plus damage aspect of it, which is part of its value, is not going to be any use from a support aspect unless he starts buying carry items.
Right,
So
yeah,
it
I
is
agree.
going to be an SB. By the way, Chessie is going to be going MKB, obvious choice that we didn't think about, but it counters Lone Druid. He doesn't have to worry about the Drunken Brawler or the Drunken Haste.
Yeah, the Brewmaster becomes, and it's not even just that, the Haunt as well, or not just the Haunt, but rather the Radiance Burn for the Spectre too, so...
Yeah,
It's a
good point.
multi-pronged item that will come out. There, the Moonlight Shadow Smash is going to jump, and he's going to pop the split. There's not many heroes down bottom. They even popped the Drip Coil up on Masoku, who's leaped away. Haunt will come through, looking for, it looks like Hanskin. The Cyclone's up under the Legion Commander. Ewo looking for this kill. Zeus will fly. One dead on each side so far. Swiddle might be the next to go down, but Ewo is incredibly in trouble. The Haunt, or rather the Duel will come in, and Z-Freak will find himself yet another kill. Great Fisher coming out, looking for an Echo Slam. Can't quite find it yet. There's the Savage Roar, beautifully done onto Mystico, so he can't get it off in time. So far, turned into a 2 for 2, might be even worse. 3 for 2, it's about to be a 4 for 2. His Smash is going to be cycloned up and taken down by the Lone Druid. Ulta, or triple kill rather, for Z-Freak, and now 35 or 30 full dual damage. He's just bought his Shadow Blade, and now he's already up to 1,700 extra gold.
Yeah, Z-Freak's build is actually transitioning them really well now because the amount of damage it took just to kill the Vengeful Spear was amazing. Like, Venge only has Tranquils, an Urn, and a Wand, and it took him so long to die, and he didn't get any spells off, but the fact that it took so long meant that on the other side of the fight, you've got Swindlemounds throwing out tons of nukes, you've got the Radiance Burn, it got Spectre to a low point that allowed them to duel him, and once Spec's dead, most of the damage on Elite Wolves is gone. So I think Z-Freak's, with this weird-ass build, is actually playing very well.
The Legion Jungle is going to promote Legion jungle pickers everywhere to play this style and be effective and aggressive, which is that is unfortunate, but still.
The only reason it's very sad and unfortunate is because I know that an average pub player is going to be like, dude, I'm supporting because I'm casting Press the Attack every 13 seconds. What else do you want from me? And they're going to feel justified about Press the Attack every 13 seconds. But there's a lot of other
guys,
things that Z-Freak is doing.
Listen, I'll support you in like 40 minutes when I get out of the jungle. It's gonna be fine. Chessie goes ahead and loses that Aegis as the arrow came through and sniped him beautifully. Chessie's still very tanky though as he picked up, I think,
Oh, big
There's
swap.
gonna be a swap out. Smash gets obliterated coming out. The damage coming through from all of that. They had a double damage at Pog. Hanskin has Vengeance Roar level 3. They have Lightning Bolt, Zeus Hold, obviously, and it's just too much to deal with.
That bear almost died too. It was very, very close. He was able to recall just as a return just as the last hit.
He's gonna
But
return it
that was a
again.
great swap. Like, it was the swap into the Waning Rift into the right clicks. It was a great kill for the Brewmaster, and they get a tier 2 tower out of it.
Yeah, there we go. Second tier 2 tower of the game, and the third one in the top lane is going to be trying to be taken. I feel like this Tigger needs a lot more. Like, he's really... If he was a little bit farmed, this game could be going very well for Elite Wolves, but he just sadly isn't doing much this game because he doesn't have a taken or whatever he wants yet, that, you know, that first item.
And he went very much a laning build, not a farming build. He had 3 missile and 2 laser in the early game, whereas a lot of other Tinkers will try to get March of the Machines maxed out by like 7, maybe 8. But it's really hurt him. His farm has not been as high, and he's not going to be as good against Lone Druid for that reason. He needs to be able to kill the primary Lone Druid guy, but if the bear is hitting him and chasing him down, he's kind of just screwed.
Yeah, this is... We saw Van absolutely destroy compLexity this past week, and he did a really great job, and this is pretty much the furthest, you know, far cry from that game. It's unfortunate, but this is really not going well. They figured out a way to play with it. Z-Freak is Shadow Bladed up, looking for Ewo. He's got the usage of that Press the Attack as well as the That's a haunt coming in. That's awkward. Now he's going to go into Chessie instead. Yeah, Chessie's actually going to be the one to get targeted. Smash going to jump in. Can they get this kill? Savage Roar comes out. Arrow will hit up. There's the Fisher as well. Chessie's about to die. They get off the split as well. Echo Slam just to secure the kill. That's a big pickup. He's down for 66 seconds. They really can't take a fight now. With complexities, Chessie's dead. I'm pretty sure you just back up. You let that tier 1 tower go. You say, that's fine. You take that kill, but we're not fighting you anytime soon.
It was a good fight, but again, Teamfight Ultimate's used for Elite Worlds there. They were trying to get a kill on the Tinker, but the Marsh just kept interrupting Blink Dagger on Puck. They really need to not be within that to be able to get the kill.
Going heals, by the way, what do you think of the heals on Tinker in this game?
It's kind of a weird choice. I guess that helps against Duel. He can also use up the Bear, I guess, and TP, hypothetically. I don't see a lot of value in it, to be frank. It's also very expensive to use it in mana. It's like 175. It's very equivalent to using a Hex, for example, but it's not a Hex. It's just a, keep people disabled thing. I don't think it's that great this game. I don't really see much value. Maybe I'll figure it out. Yeah, I guess if he gets silenced by Puck, he can use himself, or he can use Puck and then TP. Maybe that's what he's aiming to do. I'm not sure.
I feel like if he gets silenced in the first place, he's probably not in a great position. He's gonna die one way or another.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. But it's not going to be very good mana. It's an okay mana item, but it doesn't, like, the best thing for Tinker is having lots of mana pool and lots of mana regen, and Yule's gives you a little bit of both basically, and it's not going to be enough, I don't think. At least not for now.
Could have gone Bloodstone. He could have gone damage and Dagon, which we saw last week.
Yeah,
but maybe
yeah,
it's
exactly.
A little too late for the Dagon. I don't know, honestly.
I guess the Yules will accelerate him in terms of neutraling faster than a Dagon will. Dagon's much better team fighting, obviously, but it's worthless for jungling in a lot of ways. So maybe that's where he's going with his thinking. And again, the Puck is still a big issue. If he does find him solo, the Yules will save him. If there's two heroes, it's not going to probably make a difference.
Game has been close, but it's not quite been the close game we saw in the first one. Fortunately, not quite as back and forth either. I do really enjoy the Z-Freak jungling Legion Commander and his roaming potential. I feel like he's done a great job doing what he needs to do with his Prestige attack, getting off a couple of great duels that'll help him secure a little bit of late game potential coming out with, 34 duel damage is not great at 27 minutes, but he's a support Legion, so I mean, there's that. He also has an Ogre Club for probably a Silver Edge, which is amazing against the Brewmaster.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. I assumed it would be a BKB. I think it's more likely BKBs before Silver Edge, but afterwards Silver Edge would be really solid. Not even just Brewmaster, by the way, it's also Spectre. Yeah, removing Spectre's passive is so good.
Desolate, I think. Yeah, both of them.
Yeah. He goes from being a tanky hero to being a not tanky hero just by removing his passive. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's not going to be the easy thing for Spectre in the world to deal with that. But how much gold does Z-Freak actually have? He has 1,600. So he's got enough for the Sanj. And then I think the recipe is pretty cheap as well. It's 600. So let's see. Sanj is going to cost 450, 600. He probably has it, I think, already.
Yeah, he can make Silver Edge right now.
But I think you're right though. I think he's going for BKB.
Yeah, BKB is just too important here because if he just BKB duels somebody like Spectre or Tinker, he's going to take very little damage, and he's going to take a major damage component out of Elite Worlds without having to worry about dying to himself.
Yeah. Or
dying to something else.
We'll see what he purchases. He's got plenty of time. I mean, he's not going to get up in the side shop. Van is going to march top lane. Swiddle actually almost scattered him out, and he lightning bolts a little too late. He would have gotten it off in time, but it was just a second, maybe even like 0.2 seconds too early, or too late rather.
They're looking for a kill. They've got Blink on Earthshaker.
They do.
Z-Freak spots it out though.
He's going to back up. He was Shadow Bladed. He's going to head back home now with 700 gold to take buys him with Hammer and get towards that BKB. Chessie has respawned. He's got 100 gold. He's picked up the MKB. His might is continuing to go to work. He did have a Vlad's at one point. I'm pretty sure he sold it though for the MKB. Unless somebody else had seen his Vlad's.
No way.
I remember seeing somebody pick up Vlad's. Oh, it might have been Smash. I probably got that confused with the Lone Druid. They're very similar portraits.
Yeah, it definitely was not Lone Druid. Okay. He went MKB immediately after Radiance, which is the build he had to do. Sometimes you do have to do this, but it's actually kind of a good bear item. You're already attacking fast from press the attack and the typical Rabid, and it also gives you attack speed, so it's a pretty good damage item for Lone Druid in my opinion.
Yeah, this is going to provide a lot of damage for him, and probably will be able to kill a lot of these squishier heroes very quickly. Like, I mean, it's already... Mistoku and Mystico are having a really rough time so far and dying at almost every team fight. Mystico even picks up a Bracer to try to stay alive even further. Meanwhile, mid, there's the duel up into Evo. Zeus Salt flies through. Dreamcoil, they really wanted that kill, and boy, did they get it. Heat-seeking missile will fly to Z-Freak, but that's not nearly enough to bring him down. So Spectre will fall, he'll be dead, and it's an unstoppable spree for Limp. As he gets further towards that Hex, it looks like.
Dude, the damage Legion took there just from dispersion was ridiculous.
Arrow. Oh, it's gonna hit him too. And here's the split. Can they bring him down? They bought back the Haunt, and in reality, they'll look for Hanske to get swapped out. They wanted Z-Freak, but they can't find him. The illusions go to work. Heat-seeking missile wasn't able to get the kill because he was invis with the Shadow Blade. Great Savage Roar again. They'll still take down Hanskin as well as the Zeus on the other side. And now Chessie in trouble. TP's coming through as well. The arrow will hit up Chessie, about to fall. Spectral Dagger will go through. This buyback did a ton of work for Ewo. I'll pick up a double kill from Masoku when it's all said and done as he finishes up his mech now.
Yeah, great fight for him. I think he lost gold overall, but he broke about even, it looks like. He actually gained about 160.
Oh, they hit the arrow onto Limp, and another big kill. An unstoppable spree going the way of Smash. Elite
What's
Wolves
happening?
finding 4 kills seemingly out of nowhere. And now they're going to push straight down mid.
And compLexity probably felt so good about that. They wasted Spectre ulti, and they kept the Legion Commander alive, but then getting the 2 pickoffs and then leading that into 2 more afterwards is just too much. Elite Wolves is going to come back with that one, and now the game's about equal again.
They could try to take Roche after this tier 2 tower. They can try to take top lane as well. There's a couple of options here for them. They'll take the tier 2 mid, obviously. Ewo now up to 2,000 gold. They'll have the March coming up at the top lane as well. Back alive in 29 seconds for the Limp Puck, as well as 20 seconds for the Lone Druid. But it looks like this tower will fall. They won't get Roche out of this, but 2 tier 2 towers is an insane amount of gold going the way of Elite Wolves.
And that's going to turn Van into his next item pretty soon. He's got about 1,800 gold, so he's at like 500 away from a Dagon. Dagon plus Yules. It's going to be pretty nice at this stage.
Dash is an Aghanim Scepter, by the way. He's got enough money for it.
Okay.
He might just go BKB, though. I don't know.
I don't know if he needs to. I think I would prefer him to get Ags. The damage increase is just really massive.
Yeah, he really needs it. Well, compLexity are nearby Roche. It has been scouted out by both teams, I believe, seeing that is in fact up. And the Elite Wolves are going to sit top waiting for a push coming through, but it's the Druid Bear, excuse me, as he's pushing in with a Radiant Spurn. They're all at Roche now, and that's it. They're going to take this very quickly.
Yeah, that's some damage right there. Nothing new on the Bear other than, yeah, just a cloak on the main Lone Druid here. They scout out the enemy team with the Zeus ult, but with Roche. Oh, they haunt.
That's not really, they can't fight with this, sadly. They were not in position to do so. Hanske Illusion is actually doing some serious work on Venge, but he'll survive and he'll be fine after getting tickled a bit.
Yeah, he definitely could have killed him. That would have been a nice little steal there, but likely he would have gone caught afterwards. It is a BKB for Legion. He buys his Mytho Hammer finally.
Yeah. Alright, he's got it in this next slide hit. Last hit, and there it is. Full BKB coming up for Z-Freak. As a support Legion commander, he is actually... Look at how close everybody is in the net worth chart. Very close, with the exception of the Lone Druid.
Not to mention Mirana or Shaker Venge. They're in a bit of trouble. But
yeah, well, that's unfortunate. And they're not even that underfarmed. They have at least 1 item each. Mech and Blink. Still, though.
All comes down to initiation. Puck's really set with his items. He's got a Hex already, but they have to go in first, and Evils have to be out of position. And look what they're doing. They're actually just splitting right now, while Tinker makes a impenetrable wall.
Yeah, he's going to keep marching up and doing his best in order to do so, but still. Elite Wolves, it looks like they really don't want to fight into Aegis, which was picked up unsurprisingly by Chessie, and he picked up the cloak like you talked about, which was not that shocking. They're going to work on that tier 3 swap, and Van gets destroyed. Smash comes in a bit too late. He's got to buy back again. Hanskin getting chased down. Limp gets Yules up as well. There's the Hawk coming through. They're looking for Swindle. Chessie about to lose his Aegis. The Yules up on the Van. Hanskin's low. Savage Roar comes out. Hanskin will get back up alive. This is the Bloodstone from Swindle. Keeps him up ready to go. Chessie's still about to fall. The right click. Savage Roar not available anymore, and Evil's trying to chase him down. Z-Freak ready to go. They've already used the usage of that duel, and Z-Freak and Chessie about to go down. There's the Aegis. Z-Freak Shadow Blades away. The Radiant Spurt is not enough. And Mystico, he's got to throw a Fisher, and he finds it. He has somehow gets the vision. The arrow comes out. Chessie's going to fall. Spit 5-man wipe. He gets the Savage Roar up, but still, there's nothing he can do. Jump back in. There's the jump in with Smash. Gets off the clap. Beautifully done. compLexity, who's all 5 heroes. Elite Wolves are not dead yet, Purge.
They actually did get a lot of advantage on that. Despite the dieback on Tinker, So it's not good for complexity, but at least they're not going to have to worry about Tinker being a huge threat for a while. If he would have also gotten advantage of that, like a 5 for nothing, then it would have been pretty overall bad for complexity. But they just can't deal with the Spectre Haunt. Consistently what happens is the Haunt comes and Swindles just dies.
That was without Smash's Aghanim Scepter. He had it, I think, but he couldn't quite get there. Wave of Terror will go. There's the Veil onto Ewo. Will take a bit of damage coming his way. It looks like he's going to go for the Manta and then inevitably probably pick up the Heart later on down the road. The Axe is now done for Smash, but they don't have it off cooldown for another 36 seconds, and it looks like they're going to try to chase this. Limp's going to Elusive Orb, jaunt through, look for a Yule's pickup, but Smash is going to be able to blink away here in 7 seconds.
I think he's got him if he goes for it. He's got 3 seconds of blink. No, he's not going to chase.
I don't think so. They'll
All right.
be able to get a gem too for
Zeus clearly needs a solution to Haunt. That's the item that he needs no matter what. Bloodstone is a start, because it's just raw HP. Veil of Discord helps. Maybe Ghost Scepter works, but then he's just going to buy a Diffusal Blade. Maybe he needs a Yule's, maybe he needs a Force Staff. I'm not sure, but he just consistently dies and there's not much he can do about it.
How close is this game now? Net worth graph is up to 4,000 in favor of complexity. It's again like last game. I was saying, oh, complexity, they're looking like they're in a good spot. This game's not very close anymore, but all of a sudden it suddenly is. I guess you can never count out a Spectre when she's this farmed up and ready to go. She's just a little bit behind Chelsea after losing that Aegis and dying once again. He'll finally get a Hyperstone. He was stuck at that Radiance at MKB for the longest time, man.
Yeah. And his bear actually dies fairly fast right now.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a weird spot for them. He did die twice in that last fight, despite the Aegis being there for Lone Druid. So the AC will help a lot with that. But for now, the bear's damage is quite high.
Alright, TP back home. Swindle has got 6 Bloodstone charges. He actually was able to keep Hanskin a little bit longer alive with the Bloodstone heal, but... Well, alright, so let's look at what's happening. It's 35 minutes into the game. It's 24-20. Elite Wolves, they need to get this Tinker farmed up, but if he gets farmed, how do you give... what chance do you give Elite Wolves here later on into this game? Say, 40, 45 minutes at that point.
I mean, with Z-Freak doing as well as he is, I think they're always going to have a good solution against Tinker. It's just going to be Legion Duel. He may have to at some point get a Blink Dagger to go with his Shadow Blade and his Aether Lens, but those are solutions that they can do. But it's going to come down to the initiation, how well Ewo hides. Ewo, by the way, is going to Ags on Tinker. Bit of an interesting build.
Haunt coming in.
This is good for
They're going to try
complexity.
to fight this, but they've really been able to make sure that this is completely separated in 2 different areas. And so Haunt's now down, and they can't fight this anymore. They have to back up.
Yeah, I
I'm not sure
think
why
they're
over there.
I think he was expecting complexity to be in weirder positions rather than standing next to their tower. So goes really well for them, and they can go take a team fight now.
Van is going Aghanim Scepter. I just want to point that out.
Oh,
Pretty
I'm
good for
sorry.
team
I
fight.
said Ewo, not Van. But yeah, I pointed that out a bit ago. It shoots out 4 rockets instead of 2. The laser will bounce, and
Alright,
that part's pretty cool.
My bad. I didn't hear you, but
No, it's
yeah,
okay.
that's-
I said the wrong name. No problem. Just blame me.
So let's talk a little bit about let's say Van is somehow either not doing well enough or it's just gotten to the point where he's getting killed a lot. How do you think Elite Wolves will do? Well, hold that thought. Is they're going to jump in, Split will fly through. Chess is going to get caught. There's the Boulder Smash coming in. Good swap, but won't disjoin it. Now there's going to be a BKB. There's the duel done beautifully from Z-Freak. The arrow will come through, won't hit, and then Mystico is about to fucking get the Echo Slam off he can, and that'll bring down 1. No, actually, everyone's still alive. Chelsea's low, though. The Boulder toss again. The Usulor back. Limp's just trying to zone this out as best as possible. They're going to find Hanskin. Magic Missile flies through again. They cycling up the bear. Ewo pops his Mantis out. Everybody is low from complexity, but the same can be said for Elite Wolves. They're about to lose a second hero. Smash actually misses the Illusion but still will go down nonetheless. And now Ewo's going to try to 1v5, and he's doing a pretty damn good job. They've lost 1. They might lose a second here. Limp Swindle will almost go down 20 HP. These heat-seeking missiles are doing so much damage, but still Elite Wolves can't quite find the team fight victory they were looking for. However, they did bring down Chessie when it's all said and done, and Ewo is able to just destroy all of them, it looks like.
That was the berry summon as well, so that cost them quite a bit.
And the gem, wow.
Oh man,
Yeah,
they
that's
didn't
Hanskin's
get the
gem.
urn. I thought Limp was going to destroy the urn for sure, but he just leaves it. So yeah, that was
silly.
overall, I would say, decent fight for Evil. It was pretty close to a trade. Complexity kind of got wrecked by resummoning the bear and then losing Chessie. He doesn't have any new items since the Hyperstone, but he has to make the AC. But in the same vein, they also really need a pipe or something. Like maybe it's worth it for Lone Druid after AC to just go back and get at least a hood on his main hero, because he's just getting beaten down by Brewmaster, and he doesn't have that much regen on his main hero. Maybe he needs Tranquils or something as well. There's like a lot of ways that they could get some solutions there. But first and foremost is definitely he needs the AC on the bear. But I think he also could have microed a lot better in that fight. Oh, they're going to fight.
They're going to go bottom. Ewo's going to get caught. The Duel's going to come through. The Elusive Rope jumps up. Zeus Soul comes through. Z-Freak almost dies. Up to 27 HP. He will stay alive. Great Duel comes out. And now Ewo is dead for 89 seconds. He's got the buyback, however, if he needs it. That is a huge pickup. It's still tough to fight into Brewmaster Split and all the other damage they've got from March of the Machines. But that is a huge pickup coming after Complexity.
Yeah, that's the strat, I guess. Duel with your support Legion Commander and get follow-up. He's not getting the duel damage, but who cares, man? Anything for the kill. Did he get a duel damage there? I feel like it was
I don't
close.
think he did. He? Okay, all right, he did.
Okay, it was very close. I think it almost did not work.
And he almost got brought down by all of the damage that Spectre was able to dish out. Here comes the March. They're going to try to deal with this without having to buy back up onto the Spectre. Buyback on is available if they need it. So if they buy back, it's going to be for a team fight, and one team fight that is definitely going to be initiated by Elite Wolves. So that's going to be the big issue here is, can we march? Can we keep this pushed in long enough? Do we have the lift? The answer to that question is no. And the bear just goes right to work. The Yules will come out.
Oh, that's
they
why
almost
he got
have
Yules.
to buy back. Air's going to come out as well. They just don't have the damage to deal with it yet, though. And this Melee Axe is about to fall. They might have to give it away. Jump in, Smash is going to clap, split up as well. Buyback is going to come out from Evo as well. Chess is going to get caught. The Haunt 10. Savage Roar will go. Again, keeping him alive for just a moment longer. They've already fished. They've reality even further. They'll lose Chessy. And they get off the Echo into Hoska. They'll lose 2. But again, they have to buy back for Evo. They're chasing further, but everybody else is keeping out. Z-Freak, Limpet, everybody will stay alive and keep themselves up in fighting shape and head back home. And they even lose the Melee Rex because of that.
Yeah, that one's going to be completely worth it for Complexity. The biggest loss there is the fact that they're dead on Lone Druid for 60. Also, they lost the resummon of Spirit Bearer. But by the time he's up, it's going to be off cooldown. As long as they don't lose more than like a tier 1 tower out of this, or yeah, anything more than a tier 1 tower I think is really bad for them. But this is a second buyback now for Spectre. It's definitely limiting his max GPM here. And as a result, it means that as the game continues, not only are they losing Rax advantage, but Spectre's not accelerating in the way that he should. And it's going to allow heroes like even Zeus to catch up and get more farm. So the last couple of fights have gone pretty well for Complexity.
Yeah. The Wolves have been staying in, but now with the ultimates, they're going to be struggling here to try to push high ground. They see what they're going for, but without any sort of haunt slash brew split, they're going to have to back out. They could have just taken Roast. They should have known it was going to be up sooner rather than later. And it is up now, ready to go. So Elite Wolves are going to be missing out on that, it looks like. And Complexity can just take that again. That will be Aegis and Cheese this time around.
Z-Freak has now purchased the 40-minute treads. Happy to see. I've done this before, being like, no, that's fine, I can get brown boots, and at some point being like, yeah, I should really have treads. And then I just think about the previous 40 minutes and how much faster I would farm and how much more damage I would do if I would have just bought frickin' treads for 950 gold earlier on. It's such a, like, the boot upgrades are all so valued.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I understand he went for the Aether Lens, and he's just like, well, I really need these items first and foremost, but... Well, he got it now, but...
The other ones were very good. The Aether Lens, the Shadow Blade, the Black King Bar, they're all very relevant at different stages of the game. The interesting thing is how Legion Commander's role this game has shifted throughout the whole game. It was very much on press the attack at the start of it, but now it's more about dueling and ganking. It's pretty cool. But I feel like that might not work otherwise. I'm sorry, what?
It's so frustrating for Elite Wolves. It's like, they should have known Roast was up, but Complexity just smoke in the pit and get the Aegis and Cheese, and they're going to get there too late. Complexity is just going to find another free Aegis and Cheese. Hanska's going to get arrowed, and they actually might kill him. There's press the attack coming out. They've got Savage Roar, but Hanska looks like he's about to fall. Haunt will come through as well. Hanska will be the first to go down. They're going to try to find Chessie as well. He's low. He's got the Aegis. Z-Freak's going to go ahead and Shadow Blade away. The Heat-Seeking Missile's just owning everybody on Complexity. Swindle will TP in it as well. This fight not going that great. Chessie's going to get off the Savage Roar. It looks like he does, but still, there's going to be the duel coming out. Van's in trouble. He's about to fall. It's going to go away. He's going to use himself. Echo Slam on to let everybody low for Complexity, but they lose the Spectre. Van has to buy back, and with Spectre down for 90 seconds, that is going to be the end of the fight, almost certainly. Limp's going to jump back in, gets the silence off on a smash. He'll back away. He's got Blink back up in 1. They have Leap in 6, but they didn't kill Chessie the second time. Had they done so, this game might have been in a little bit of their favor. That fight might have been in a little bit of their favor, but that's not the case. And Elite Wolves will have to back their tail between their legs.
I think I figured out another reason Tinker got Yules, by the way. It's because you can Yules a target to debuff them, and one of the biggest counters to Lone Druid right now is that if you purge the bear, then he loses Rabbit, and Rabbit has a much longer cooldown now. Oh. So by having Yules, he can reduce the bear's attack and movement speed by a large amount. And I think you can also remove Battlecry, I'm guessing.
I would imagine. It's probably the same thing, right?
I don't know. It might function similar or different. I'm not quite sure. But removing Rabbit, it's 40 attack speed and 25 movement speed. It's a
Battle Cry is 100
really good way to
damage and
reduce it.
20 bonus armor as well.
Yeah, removing Battle Cry is really good, but it's a lot lower uptime.
Dussault Z-Freak looking to find Van. He blinks out just in time. Van did have to buy back, by the way. Luckily, Ewo won't get punished for being dead for another 30 seconds or so. They're going to try to push him bottom now, which will finish off the range tracks. That's not a huge deal. Still, it's a lot of gold going the way of complexity. And they might actually just go for the tier 3, and here comes the bear. You can see how much damage this does with Rabid, as well as Battle Cry. It just is destroying this tier 3 tower. The arrow's going to actually miss. They have to use this bear or something to stop it from going to work. They're going to walk in. The tier 3 tower will essentially fall immediately. It's going to get fissured up, though. They should have a resummon, and they do. The tier 3 tower has been taken.
You know what's kind of crazy that I saw earlier? If you use Drunken Haze on the Spear Bear and he has a Monkey King bar, when he hits units, he always hits. But against buildings, he can still miss.
Isn't that it for the rest of all the units of Dota?
Yeah, I think so. It is. I wasn't saying it was just Spirit Bear or anything, but it seems kind of obnoxious. Like I feel like in Dota 1, when you had MKB, you'd always hit no matter what. And maybe that's just an intended change or something. But
I saw a game a long time ago where Quickfoot was playing Medusa, and they had an immense farm on him. It was when I think Team Tinker was playing up against, I can't even remember, some team, and they just kept drunken and hazing him. It might have actually been Smash. And he just could not push high ground, and they ended up losing the game because he was missing so many times in the buildings. So it's very similar into this situation. Obviously, though, the bear hits so goddamn hard that it doesn't really matter. But yeah, you're right. It is very strange. I'm surprised they haven't changed it really.
I like the Boots of Travel on Chesty here. He's running for 475 now.
He's gonna Yules himself up, and he's gonna try to blink. He'll make it out. He's gonna rearm blink himself again, probably. You should just TP. He should just TP. Why is he not TPing?
He tried, but he canceled it.
Alright, he's freaking out. I understand why he's freaking out, but...
Alright.
He's fine, I guess. Zeusult down. Oh, Swindle's about to die. Fisher, jumping, clap.
Suicide.
There's the Haunt coming through.
Oh,
He's got the BKB, and I think it's a 10-second one. It is. They're still going to kill him through BKB, it looks like. Last right click, he'll deny himself, though. Good thing he did.
Too bad he didn't just suicide before wasting the 10-second. That was kind of expensive.
He almost got his team there in time. And, well, Haunt's down now. Desolator's been picked up by Z-Freak, by the way. And an Assault Cuirass has been done for the Lone Druid, so armor reduction is real.
That's a lot of damage on Legion Commander here. He's got plus 224, and he actually has quite a few damage items.
The 80 damage from the duel is pretty good, considering that he's a support. Yeah, he is essentially a core now. Like, he's just right behind the Spectre and the Tinker.
He's a great hero to have versus Tinker, for sure. Tinker's got a Mystic Staff in the shop, though. Oh, they go in.
They're going to jump in. The split will come through. Chase is going to get caught here. Doesn't have Aegis. Hanska gets the swap out. He's very fast. Can they catch him? They need another boulder toss, and they can't quite find him. And they will get at least one with Hanska, and Z-Freak has popped the BKB. They did not have Haunt. Had they had it, they probably get that kill. Because Ewo has picked up a Diffusal Blade. It could have slowed him down. Sadly, it was not the case. They'll just get Hanskin for a split. And Haunt will be back in 48 seconds.
That was a really big save there. The swap into Lone Druid running fast works pretty good, and they get out of there. An item that they might want to consider buying on complexity is maybe an Ags on Puck. Because if not that you want to just ulti to disable what the Brewmaster can do, but if he's in the group with him and you ult him with an Ags ulti, then they will break tether and get stunned. So it might be kind of a cool solution. Might be good against Spectre as well. I mean, there's a lot of heroes on E-Wolves that really don't want to get stunned, or that in a lot of cases will just run out of that tether.
Do you feel like this Puck has not had the impact that like Limp hasn't had the impact on this hero that he usually has in games like this?
I don't think so. I wouldn't say that. It's just the enemy heroes are really hard to fight against. Whenever Spectre presses ulti, it just makes the fight so difficult. You have to just run away, basically. Say like, alright, we're out of position for 6 seconds until this runs out. So it's just really hard for Puck to do what he normally wants to do. He's got to deal with fissures and arrows and spec radiance and all this stuff that does a lot of damage that he's having trouble dealing with. They might catch him.
Speaking of out of position, there's going to be the Hex up. They might get a Dream Coil. They've already broken up onto Evil to swap back in. He can't afford to die, and he's going to. Again, the initiation is the bane of Elite Wolf's existence. He's dead for 88 seconds. While this is happening, an arrow will come in, but they will split push with Van mid lane. And that might be the beginning of the end here for Elite Wolves. They needed to keep that Spectre alive more so than anything else in the world. And he gets caught by a great jump in from the Zeus, as well as the Puck.
Yeah, the Puck catching 2 people there just changes everything. Smash gonna try to kill Chessie.
looking for it.
He should just kill the lone druid. Oh,
There's
they're
the Hex
ulti
coming out. They actually get a Hex on the Van as well. And here comes Z-Freak. He's got no duel for 18 seconds. They get off another boulder task. The clap will go through as well, but Chessie's too damn tanky. Van's gonna get Yules up. He's gonna have to try to blink out, but he can't. There's the silence up as well. Van's gonna force him, or get forced rather, further into the base, but he will still fall to the right click coming out as Chessie will get the job done. Block back smash is gonna get caught. It's gonna be 4 dead, and this might be it. The duel comes out as well. That's the last right click for Z-Freak to get the kill. Smash will immediately buy back, but with dead Tinker for 82 seconds, they'll take this tier 2 and more than likely the tier 3 and Rax top lane, and probably get Megas if they can.
I don't know, man. They worked for this game, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Complexity
they
did some weird stuff, but they kept pressuring the Tinker, they kept getting kills on the Spectre, and they didn't let those heroes get out of complete control, despite them having really good early games. Very cool build on the Spirit Bear as well.
Yeah, this is nifty. It's worked out. They're gonna go right to mid. It looks like it's the last set of racks. They jump in. Mystico doesn't get the Fisher off. Could have just gone for the Echo Slam. He gets destroyed by the Zeus Ult. Dream Coil Smash will be the next
Oh my god.
Yeah, then with the armor reduction now through the usage of Desolator as well as AC, it's just too much for him to deal with, and now they have to defend without him for 87 seconds. The Spectre and Masoka are the only ones alive. Mega Creeps coming out. Elite Wolves had a great first 2 games, but they just can't quite get over the hump. And Complexity are playing immaculately with some amazing builds and some amazing heroes to be picked with these drafts. It looks like they're about to take a 2-0 victory here.
Yeah, Limp's Hex there was basically game securing because it stops the Earthshaker from getting his Echo Slam off in time, so really good reaction time. He might have seen him coming from the high ground and prepped the Hex on him, but either way, getting the Hex on the Earthshaker means that they finish the Mega Creeps, and now it's just a moment of time until they end up taking the win. Unless, you know, it's one of those 26 out of 11k games.
I mean, those don't happen very often. No crap, but still, it's not going to be easy for Elite Wolves to come back from this. I guess they have sort of the tools to work with. They have a Spectre. They have, I guess, a really good team fight otherwise, but I don't even know if they have good wave clear.
They do, dude. They've got a Tinker. They just sit on their Ancient,
yeah.
and they spam March of the Machines until their opponents give up. That's the strategy.
2 hours from now, there's going to be a Tinker just spamming March. I don't think that'll be the case, though.
Zeus picks up an Octarine, lowered the cooldown all of his abilities, and not to mention the lifesteal. That'll be pretty nice.
Limp picks up a Refresh Orb, so he's got the double Hex, double BKB, double Dream Coil, double Yules even. And that's probably game winning. I mean, they're getting their items now that will secure them the game.
Yeah. I like the Octarine on Zeus so much. It basically means he can just BKB and cast spells. So.
Dan's gonna get caught.
Oh, he gets
doesn't
Aurora.
have dieback, but he's gonna get destroyed. The Lightning Bolt comes out. And Zeus will find yet another kill. He's dead for 72 seconds. The Lightning Bolt comes through. While this is happening, Complexity are roaching up. Z-Freak will be the one to just do most of the damage here. Who's gonna have room for the Aegis is really the question. I think Chessie, of course, because, you know, he's Chessie, but I don't think they're giving it to him.
Handskin for once? Oh, Handskin's got a BKB now. He's like, I am sick and tired of this freaking Spectre ulti just killing me. It's a tough Venge game, man. Spectre is not a hero you want to play against when you're playing Venge.
It's a tough support game in general, except for Z-Freak, who's somehow super farm because he's a jungling LC. Evo's going to get caught with the Entangle, but that's not really going to do much. The arrow will hit onto the bear. They have a resummon, but it's dying so quick to the Mantle Illusion. He goes down for 300 gold, going the way of Evo. The effigy of Tinkers will fall, and Evo's just trying to play DOTA at this point, defending the Ancient as best as damn possible.
He's got a Moonshot on the bear now. This thing attacks so fast.
Yeah.
But this is the last bear. I mean, if they were playing super safe, they'd go back and wait for the bear.
Moonlight Shadow, they don't see any of the heroes for some reason. Like, where is everybody? Evo's about to jump out onto Chessie, who's got no Aegis, by the way. If they want to get this game even, they're going to have to take down Chessie one way or another, but they've already lost one tier 4. Smash gets hexed up after jumping with the clap. The game lags momentarily. Fisher Echo Slam onto all 5 is not doing enough damage, however, so they already have lost 2 heroes. They will have Van respawn. Mystico's going to go down and lose you over the right click. Missiles will come through as well, but that's probably going to be it. There's the BKB popped up as Hoskible's down at the rest of the crew of Van and Elite Wolves are going to go down 2-0. The bear will go down, but Z-Freak's able to just right-click this Ancient down with press the attack, and GG will be called.
Oh, very back and forth game, man. 52 minutes, very close in a lot of ways, but Complexity just started taking better and better team fights, and the support Legion Commander that did quite a bit early just started to do more and more in the mid to late game. It just perfectly countered the annoying hero, and that was the Tinker. So they got a little lucky with that because it was very clear that the Legion Lone Druid combo, that was their strategy. Legion Lone Druid Venge, that was the first 3 picks that they had, I think. And the purpose of it was for the press the attack on the bear and to remove disables. So, and the strategy just happened to fall into an enemy Tinker, which is a hero that Legion is good at. So they got slightly lucky with their picks there, but they executed it great. Like Z-Freak played amazing. It's not easy to pull off this support Legion commander thing, but he did it.
12, 2, and 10. GPM of 430. Pretty damn good job for a 4-position support. And compLexity as a whole played very well, even with so many deaths from Swindles. Even Chessie and obviously Hanskin, they were able to rein this game in. And 2 times, Elite Wolves have been close in almost getting to that victory and maybe even getting a 2 advantage for themselves. But now they've got a tough road ahead of them. It is a best-of-5 series. They have one more game to try to even this back up and at least bring the game number 4. We'll see if that's actually going to be the case or if compLexity gets the full sweep. We're here on moonducktv with the grand finals of Dota2CanadaCup Season 6. My name is Malt. With me is Purge, Pitmuckle, and Lurkaderp. We'll jump into our post-game report momentarily. With that said, we'll see you guys soon. Stick around.